Our earliest memories in life come from the people we have the closest contact with, family. But does our family in all their entirety truly know us fully? I heard a saying one time that friends can be family too. And I strongly agree. The strangers you have no blood ties with can sometimes become stronger allies in your life's mission and journey than actual blood related kins. Don't we all have friends who have lived through life with us during the most defining years of our life? People who see the full you that you might not be able to show your family, or people who just welcome your change in versions. This is a conversation about identity, friendship, and the little things that make us who we are. I'm Kosi Okechukwu. Welcome to the most honest episode of the season. So, my guest today is someone I share the month of June with.
Yeah.
We met in 200 level and practically navigated the chaos of university together, even sharing a space during that crazy final year. She has seen me at my lowest and at my most hopeful. She's one of the few persons who can tell me exactly who I am when the world is done telling me who I should be. Please welcome my amazing friend, Oge. Yay!
Thank you for that intro.
Aww.
Do you know when I saw these questions, when you sent them to me? I
Yeah.
remember when I cannot remember at what point it was in university that we met. And for you to now say 200 level, I'm shocked you still remember.
I do. Because I think one of the reasons why I remember was that, in year one, everybody was kind of running around. We're not settled. Everybody was trying to make sure that their grades were still okay. But then in 200 level, everything kind of settled. So I think as I used to see people that I was much more inclined with, and you were one of them. So I'm very grateful. And actually, I was not even 100% sure when we met until I started looking at pictures, like old pictures I had saved on my Google Drive. And I came across a picture we took in 200 level. I don't know if you can remember that picture. There was a picture where I wore like a check top and like this black skirt, and we're just taking funny pictures like opposite our faculty building. Do you remember?
I have a lot of pictures with you.
Oh
Let
my
me just check.
goodness. Oh my goodness. It was so fun. When I saw, I was like, oh, I can't believe this picture is here. I was just screaming. But it's nice to know, Sha. I'm so happy that you're joining me today.
Thank you. Same here. Thanks for having me. Join you on this wonderful new project you've embarked on.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So,
first and foremost, I want us to talk about how we became friends. I want us to talk about how, when, where, and why we became friends. So, from your own perspective, what was the factor, or what were the factors that drove us together to become friends?
So I would have answered this question more directly if I remembered the exact day, what we were doing, the exact item that brought us together. I know it's school, the background is school, but
Definitely.
or maybe you needed a pencil or a biro, or it was very fun. Then that was how I started talking. But for some reason, I remember the first time we spoke and what made us to speak. Yes.
Even me as well. I don't think I can also remember, but I and that's the thing, right? Because most great friendships, you can't even pinpoint where they started from. That's the funny thing in this kind of thing. But I know it was around 200 level. I don't even know how it started. Now that you said it,
I think it's 100. I have this picture here. You know that hall where year ones have, every year one in bioscience has their lectures.
Where was it MP?
Not MPH, the one at Natural Sciences. That's other major hall. The last hall before chemistry hall department.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was year one, right? Did we take any lectures together there in year two?
Yes, we did. We took lectures on biochemistry, and I think was that microbiology and brewing or parasitology. I can't remember, but I know we took courses there in year 2. Yeah, I'm 100% certain, because I remember that when our year 2 results came out, most of us were getting the knowledge. You know, then it was still analog. Now they were pasting it. They were pasting it. So I think that was when I kind of like saw that, like that was how I remembered actually that we had become friends in 200 level. But I don't know, it could be 100 level. I'm not really, but I think that my knowledge of 100 level is so fogged because it was just occupied. You're just occupied with a lot of book, a lot of like, I need to get my grades straight, you understand, it's a new environment, you don't really know a lot of people. So yeah, that was basically the crux of it. Yeah.
Okay, I just sent you a picture. This is the very first picture I have of you, myself and you.
Yeah.
Check it if you remember. If it's year one. Yes, it was 100.
Oh my god, it's 100. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know it was 100. Oh my god. We've gone back. Oh my god, we are old though.
I'm sending you more.
So, okay, moving on. Let's talk about the versions of ourselves and our friendship, right? We've spoken about how we became friends, even though we can't remember where and when, because now I've gotten a lot of evidence to even show me that the 200 level I thought was when we became friends. It's not even when we even became friends, but okay. Let's talk about the versions of ourselves and our friendship. Like, as we've evolved throughout the years, we've had some ups and downs, right? Like any friend, and I think like any relationship. What are the versions of ourselves that you feel like you want to keep with you or you want to discard? What are those versions of ourselves that you feel, okay, this is what I should hang on to?
Okay, you mean myself personally, right?
Mm-hmm.
From along the years so far, I think I want to hold on to the good ones alone. Discard all the bad ones. Yeah. So the good one would be the version of me that is very goal oriented.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I could say I was the most disciplined in terms of whatever I set my mind out to do.
Yeah.
I was disciplined to see it to the end. There was a
No,
time
100%. I know you now. You're a hustler.
Yeah, there was a time I was almost like that,
Yeah.
But life happens, things change, experiences kind of define you, and then you pick up so many other activities that you have so much you can't even keep up with. I can't remember some of the things you said you were going to do, so that was lost. I'd like to retain that version that didn't have so much going on, even though I like most of the things I'm doing now. But yeah, that part where I had very limited activities, and then I knew my to-dos. And yes, want to retain the version that studied a lot and actually, had time to
Yeah.
study. Yes, I miss that energy. I
Oh
wish I
my
can
God.
remember
Don't
without
we
having
all?
um,
I miss it sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, do we really miss the chaos in Unity? Like, I
yeah,
want the studying, but without the chaotic scenes.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like these days, I can read a novel for months. One book, I'm still reading it, or I
I'm
read it halfway. I'm so distracted I can't even finish it, or my for something is always coming up, and I'm not disciplined enough to just finish the damn novel. It's so
yeah.
annoying. Yes,
It happens to me too, and I think it's something that goes with adulthood, because I think when you mature, you don't really know the kind of responsibilities that are awaiting you until you've grown to this point and you're like, oh my God, now I know why our parents were so busy all the time. Because it's not like you don't want to have time for all of these things that you cherish, but there's no time basically, because you have a lot of things you're working with, right? So one book can take you 6 months if you're not careful to finish. It's a lot. It's really, really a lot,
yeah. So for now, right now on the spot, these are the few things I can remember that I loved how it was back then. That I like to hold on to.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. But also, what about our friendship, right? What are the things that you feel you want to hold on to? Like the version, when I talk about version, I mean our past versions, right? What past versions of our friendship would you like to hold on to as we move forward into friendship, into like our much more mature version of our friendship?
Okay, now it's clearer. So I think if you check it out, you visited Lagos last year October.
Yes, I did, and we had fun.
So I just noticed that it didn't feel like we haven't seen each other in a long time.
It's true. Oh my God, I never thought of that. It just
Not
felt
like
like I had just been away for like 2 days and I came back.
yes, exactly. Even when we went out, the photos, the play, it was the same. Like that childish energy was pretty
It
much
was still
still
there.
intact. Yeah. So I don't think it has been lost, because if I'm to answer what I like to retain, it means something that has been lost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a very good way to answer your question. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, we're still very much, have our vibe. Nothing has been lost. So
Yeah.
this is what I want to retain, even when we're 50 years, even when we're 60.
Literally.
Yes, yes. So,
Like the other day, I think yesterday. So yesterday I went to the market with my mom, right? I went to get some jeans, right? And when I was there, I kind of started to think, I was like, oh my gosh, when I'm at a certain age, when I have kids, I can just imagine walking into Augustus and like, the rich aunties here, where are your kids? And just giving them money, or Oyi, or this person, or that person, and then doing the same for my own kids. That kind of like familial bond you have with this person, like it never goes away. Even if you're 70 years, you're still friends with this person, right? And that was kind of like what I just thought of, and it just made me smile so hard. And this thing you're telling me just kind of reinforces that, like, when you're core friends with someone, that feeling never really goes away. I think that is the truest value of friendship. It's about the vibe and about how someone made you feel at a moment in time, right? So that's what carries you through, for the rest of your life. And I'm really happy that you're in my life as my very good friend. I'm so, so happy.
thank you.
Thank you. So the next segment is life in university. What were the projects we did, like our projects during like 300 level projects here, then meeting up deadlines. Like for instance, in fact, today we'll just about our wicked lecturers. Since they don't want to hear what, we'll just about what were the projects you did that was difficult for you, the practicals, things like that. Let's dive more into that.
Number one, always mention this. It wasn't a project per se, it was actually a course. I almost failed. So I failed that course, but maybe the lecturers just pitied me because I was a fresh math then. So my school, it's amazing that I was, if not the best math student, but let me not use the word the best. I loved mathematics, and I considered myself the best or one of the best. But I think my class saw me as the best because I was always having the highest score in assignments, in exams. So I was very confident of my mathematics skills, right?
Okay.
But funny enough, I got to university and math and physics are actually one of my favorite subjects. But I got to university, guess what? I got an E, my first year result in physics.
Are you serious? Year 1?
Yes,
Oh
I
my
got
God.
an E. And then calculus frustrated me
Mm-hmm.
in university. The calculus I knew in secondary school seemed like
Such a simple thing, right?
seemed more complex. I just didn't have the ability to comprehend it in university. Maybe because of some of the personal issues I was going through then. But I was so disappointed with myself for how I managed my maths and physics results. Yeah, I was very sad. So this was the first challenge I ever had in school. I struggled in one, like my results were the poorest in year 1. It was a big struggle. Yeah. And then when I moved into the school hostel, I became more stabilized because I had a lot of issues then where I was staying off.
Yeah.
It completely destabilized me. So that was my very first year in university was the toughest year. Yeah. So, but when we graduated to year 3, IT stage was very easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then final year, the projects I found challenging in particular. Which one? I say I found challenging. I kind of liked all the topics we had.
Yeah,
in final
they were
year.
actually very, very good courses and topics. I don't even think we had
Yes.
so much of an issue. But what about your project in itself? Did you have any issues in your project or?
My project defense, final test. Okay. Yes. So I carried out a research on the two species of Amaranthus, Spinosus hybridus. It was very challenging because it involved physical examinations of the leaves, the seedlings, the plant. I had to come to University of Lagos and do some research in Unilag, yes. With the help of a lecturer there. I paid money, to get things done, to get access to their lab and all that. And then when I was running out of time, I think time was the major challenging factor.
Yeah.
Because time and Dr. Elodie Bia there, you know how it was now, final year. We're
always stressful. You don't have any time. And most times you don't even see the lecturer because they are busy themselves. So that's a problem.
Exactly. So I had to rush the final process. I did not get personally involved with the final product, like the outcome of my research, because I just had the lecturer finish it and then send me the results, which I didn't like. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So you were able to get all of those materials. You said you went to the University of Lagos. You attended various places to make sure that you would get your order. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. So how did your project end up like? Were you able to get a perfect score? What was it like? What kind of experiences did it open for you after school?
I'm trying to open my transcript to see what I scored in my project, but I think I did.
Now you're sticking by the books.
Well, I know I had a 2-1 in my
your overall,
but I don't remember what that project was, an A or a B. Anyway, I know I didn't fail it. I know I passed it. So that's what my
to the glory of God.
Yes, to the glory of God. So how has it? What's the second follow-up question? How has it affected my life? Or
Yes,
what? How did you
after school? How has it affected your life? Has there been any? We can skip it. Okay, don't worry. Let's skip it, please, because I can feel the kind of answer I will not bubbling up. There's no point.
I think you already know. Anyway, it's not useless to me right now. It's not, because I think the whole of that process of trying to figure things out by yourself, this was my own personal project, right? I handled the time, finances, the research, the choice, even the choice of the topic. I picked it myself. So I would say one good thing it did for me, even though I may not realize it, is it's played a part as part of the first task that I learned to manage myself.
Okay. So this was after graduation that you started to realize this, yes?
I've never thought about this question, like how did my project
Really?
have, have
Wow.
benefit? Never, because I've never operated in that space where I had to work like in the field I studied. I've never worked in any place related to biology, right? So I've never that like it has ever been of any benefit to me aside from the whole experience of going through the academic institution. So yeah, that's what I'm saying, that maybe the process of doing all of this, especially managing my task of handling my project, played a major part in building my self management skills. So yes, that must be one of the early projects that helped me fine tune that skill.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I've ever had any serious out of family project that I had to handle that way before. So yeah, that's
okay. So in short, it kind of made you better your management skills, your human management skills, right?
Yes.
That's wonderful. So now we're skipping to after graduation, job search, hustling, relationship. We'll talk about love. Oh. Don't think love is not on the agenda. It's on the agenda. You know me, I like love. I'm a romantic person. We are June babies. I don't know why June babies are like this. We are very romantic people. Oh.
Yeah.
So don't worry. We'll definitely have to discuss relationships. So, but after graduation, what was job search like for you? What was job search like? What was hustling like? How did you graduate to where you are at the moment?
This is a very good question. I don't think did I pay really good thought to what I would do after university?
You did.
Maybe I did think about it back then, but I don't think I proactively followed up on it, because right after NYSC, rather before we even started to serve, right? After camp, that period we were home, I don't think I gave much of a thought to where I wanted to specialize, like what company I'd like to work with. Maybe on the surface, I had targeted the big ones, but did I chase after them? Did I really have a structure as to for instance, I was targeting Nestle. Did I really have a on how to get into Nestle? Then maybe I did, but if it was so serious to me, then I would have remembered the plan. But right now, I don't remember any such plans I had as to working with any organization that I aspired, or admired back then. So, but for how I got to this point, after our campaign and we got back, I got this temporary offer. I saw it was my sis that showed me the ad to work. They needed waiters at a restaurant, and waiting to get our call up letter to get posted to wherever. I know that I applied while waiting for that period, and I got the job as a waiter at a restaurant in VI, and I think that was where my whole career started, because that was really good vision back then.
You were starting small, basically, like everybody does.
Yes, and I was so foolish that after then,
in the same sentence?
Yeah, so I say foolish because if I had known better, and maybe if I had better advisory, I would have aimed for better opportunities, because that was prime. A fresh graduate, that was a time you actually set yourself up based on what you're doing. But I didn't have that mindset. I didn't have all of that preparedness in mind. I just went to whatever came. So, for instance, I told you this was an ad my sister had seen. They needed waiters. Because I was waiting, then I just went along with it. I worked there for 9 or 10 months.
Wow.
Between 8 to 10 months. That was how long I worked there. While serving, I was ghosting my therapist because I wanted Lagos. I didn't get it. And then I ended up in State. But I wasn't actually serving there, even though I was in a primary school. I was just going to sign up at the end of every month.
Wow.
Why work?
So you're one of the back poppers. Oh my God.
Yes. And the little change I was seeing from the tips then were deceiving me. So I felt a bit not comfortable, but I was a bit relaxed because then I was earning a little bit of my own money, And when I was dismissed from that job, why did I not aspire for something better? Like, I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder what exactly was I waiting for? What was I waiting for someone to come and offer me a job, a good job
No,
on
but
my
I
plate?
think sometimes I think it's not really that. I think it's because we've gotten too used to that comfort, right? Because you were getting something there. So maybe your mind must have felt, "Oh, what's the like I'm comfortable. What's the point of get like progressing further, right?" But we don't really know that
No,
when we get old.
that was not it. For me, that was not it. I think I was just waiting for something to, which I wasn't making any plans towards. Because, okay, I was waiting, I told you I was working there while serving,
yeah.
right? So I sort of stuck, like just waiting to be done with this NYC. I wasn't thinking ahead. I was just thinking at the moment. So maybe I was thinking after NYC, then I'll figure out what next. Instead of thinking already, what next do I want to do after this NYC? So while I was still doing NYC and working there, I met someone else that gave me another opportunity to work in a fashion house. I already had interest in fashion even while
That
in
is
school.
true. Yes, you were doing some sewing and some other stuff. Yeah.
Yes. When he gave me the opportunity to work with a top fashion designer in Nigeria, then I took it because I thought, oh yeah, this is my opportunity to fine-tune my skills, get to learn what I'm passionate about. This is my passion now. So I talked about how I migrated from the hospitality industry, that's in waiting tables at a restaurant, to fashion, right?
Yeah.
Now, matter why I say I was foolish. If I was smart, I would ask myself, okay, is this the trajectory I want to go? Is this where I want to? Is this what I want to be doing as an adult? Is this how I want to grow myself?
Yeah.
But I was just my passion then, and I was just in a waiting phase, and then getting this that now switched up on how I didn't know that already. By making these decisions and taking those opportunities, I was already carving out my path, right? So I was already playing a role in my career path, because I wasn't even thinking about a career line. What career line do I want to specialize? I was just going whatever.
But
so yes,
but normally at that age, it's not really a crime, because I think most people don't even know what they want at that age. That's the reality.
You should know what you want by then. If you don't, you should find it. And that's a mistake a lot.
But yeah, that I understand what you're trying to say, but sometimes I feel like that is the problem, right? People don't even know how to find it, because they don't have I think they've not gotten to that point in life where they can get the knowledge to find what it is they want. So it's a common mistake that I feel like people make. Yeah.
But not everybody. It's for those who don't have proper guidance.
Yes, proper guidance. Yeah, that is 100% true. That is true. Yes.
I won't even say my dad. I didn't have guidance. My dad is very educated.
Yeah.
He was the guide, but I think as a parent, this is something parents also need to pay attention to. So he was, because as a parent, you're dealing with your life too. Life is going by, right? Like how people are right now as single people, not even married, no kids, and see how it is hard to coordinate
yourself
all that way. How much more when you now have kids, still doing the same thing,
that is difficult. Yes, it is.
It's difficult to remember everything, think ahead about everything, plan it ahead of time, So I think that's just what played out.
Yeah.
So it's not like my dad was a good place to advise, but it's the foresight to have everything planned out. Okay, when my child is in secondary school, this is the talk we need to have, this is the direction I need to direct her. And then when they're in university, this is what next they need to keep in mind, and after university, this is what they should be doing.
Yeah.
It's hard to, even if plans, it's hard to actually stick to it at the time when it's you should have them playing out.
But for
this
thing, do you think it's a societal thing, like a Nigerian thing? Because I think it happens with a lot of Nigerians. If you probably met people around our age and asked them the same questions, they would probably tell you the same version of the story. Like, our parents, they were not like 100% involved in like, okay, this is the trajectory that you understand what I mean? Like some of them were involved, but like it's probably what they wanted us to study, or like what they wanted us to do, not really what you wanted as a person. So it doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
I think it's not a Nigerian thing. So I think two major factors are in play. Number one, the individual, right? Because you still in this same Nigeria, you will find that there are some young individuals who had it all planned out. So I'm not saying life should be like that, right? I'm happy how it's turning up, even though not 100%.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful for the experiences I've had. But then it's not a must you will have it planned all figured out from day one.
Yeah.
It's very normal not to
Mm-hmm.
figure out. But again, people that are very intentional, you would find that there are people who know exactly what they wanted to do. And you know why that helps? No. Helps them start their actions on time.
That's true.
Make research on time. They apply, do what needs to be done. Get posted in great positions in good companies because they started making plans ahead of time. They actually, focused on one area, this particular area, where they wanted, mastered what
and
they
they
needed.
excel.
Yeah, got it. So when I see people like that, and there are people like that, you'll be amazed and impressed that if you actually make this plan from on time, you can actually get this far early on.
Yeah.
I have colleagues that started their career way off earlier. So it looks like they started ahead of me, but they already got placed where they are currently way earlier when I was still waiting tables and sewing, learning how to sew, being an admin assistant in a sewing house. They were already in their recruitment, or how do they call when banks are recruiting? They're already in that first year. They had done 1-2 years, very well organizations, and by the time, so now that I'm getting to that, I'm like getting to the beginning of where they started a long time ago, and then you find people that you're older than, or people that are same age with you, being ahead of you in the organization. So that's the advantage of doing other things. I won't say it's a disadvantage now, because the experience I have that I have right now, they don't have it.
Exactly.
How do you utilize all the experience you have? And again, everybody's destiny is different, right? But I feel we are fully responsible for our destiny, because God has given everybody the equal opportunity, equal mindset, equal grace, to do whatever you want to do, and He's going to do. So that's why I feel at the end of the day, it's up to the individual. The parent, if you're coming back to the parents now, you would see, some parents know that, okay, they want their kids to do what they want to do. They don't want to interfere. They'll be there to guide them. And that's exactly how I'd like to go. I would like to identify the strengths and weaknesses of my kids, right? And then see where they have more passion and where they actually now have the capacity. If they have the passion and capacity in a field, then I'll try to open their eyes to see possibilities, support them. They're going to try different things early. But then I would like them, whatever it is, where they have more strength and have more passion. That's what I'll let them do. If that's their choice, I'll only guide and support them. I won't like to interfere. I say,
that's how it should be.
Yes. So now coming back to my parent, who I thought maybe he didn't plan ahead of. I'm not blaming anybody, but I'm just thinking probably it's already that mindset where they're like, okay, whatever my child likes to do, I let him do it. So maybe then, if I'm going back to what I was saying earlier, maybe then my dad has saying that, oh, okay, this baby's actually, doing stuff, going out there, getting opportunities. Let her be, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that is what it was more like. Well, like I've had this personal talk with myself before. If I had the opportunity, I think university is the right place to start. Get young ones better oriented. Not just life in the academy, in the four walls of the university, but for thinking ahead, making their plans, 10 years, 20 years plan right there in university. So they can actually,
But do you think that when it comes to those kind of plans, do you think it involves, because when I came out of the university, I think that there were so many activities, even during our own time, that I think if we had entered earlier, we would have been in different places at this moment in time. Like for instance, when I look at things like learning a foreign language, like Chinese, right? We had a friend who I will also invite later on in this podcast. patience, right? Who learned, she took advantage of the Chinese at the Confucius Center in our school. She learned Chinese. She was able to travel out for her master's degree. Then you look at other people as well. There were people who started taking tech courses when tech was not even a thing. As at 200 level, 300 level, they were taking tech courses when we didn't even know what tech was, right? And now they came out of school as at final year or after NYSC, they were big boys in product design, in software development, you name it, all of these things, right? And so I think it makes a lot of sense for you to say it's about preparation, because how you prepare your child or how you prepare the person you're bringing up, right? Or the person under you matters a lot, because if it doesn't, how does that person face the real world when you're out of that structure, right? How do you face? So you start from square one, basically. That's what it is. Yeah,
that's what it is. I completely agree. So early orientation, and there are some people that don't even need any orientation on their own, self ambitious. They already know what they want to do, and they're, well, even though not maybe 100%, they don't see the light clearly, but they have an idea, and they are persistent and disciplined
about
like the people that started tech on time or learning a language. That's foresight.
Yeah.
Rest of us that didn't see these opportunities and felt the need to take advantage of it, we didn't have foresight.
Yeah, that is the truth. Anywho, so moving on, I knew that this was going to be one of the most interesting episodes in this podcast, because it's me and you now. I remember when I came back from school, like when I graduated, right? I was at home for a while before I went for NYSC, right, for some months. And I can never forget what my late dad said. He said that if he had known, because he looked at me, I can't remember what led, but I know I was doing something then. I can't remember what I was doing with my hands that day. And then he said something to me. He said, "You're very good at crafts, right? You like to put things together, right?" And he was like, "Oh, if I had known, I would have let you do something related." Well, that's who you are as a person at your core. That is the kind of person you are, right? So I think that sometimes, in that moment, he kind of began to see that probably they must have maybe given me a little shove. I would not really say a push, but maybe a shove into the kind of line I had studied in school. And I think that I like that honesty in him, that I liked the honesty in him that day, because what he showed me was that he was ready to admit that he also had a role to play on the trajectory I took, right? Instead of the one he felt like I should have taken, if it makes sense. So it for me, and that's why I feel like as I've gotten older as a person, I've started to kind of go back to my initial core as a person, right? I started up a business recently, and that was one of the major reasons why I went back to that kind of line, because I realized at the end of the day, that is just me. What?
I didn't know you started a business.
No way! I sent you I sent you a link. I sent you a link for my business page. You didn't see it?
Yeah, but I don't know what product you're selling now.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, love. I had been working, and that's another thing I learned as an adult, right? I've become so good. Before I used to be very open, right? But I've become so good at keeping things to myself that even telling it only took me like coming back home this Christmas period to tell my family, like, I've been building a business brand for myself. Okay, but anyway, before I digress, yes, I have been building a business brand for myself for the past 7 months. I started sometime around my birthday last year. Before my birthday, obviously, like beginning of June or thereabout. And, when I came to Lagos, we had this conversation when I was like, oh, I want to start up a business. But I even didn't know what I even wanted, right? That was the funny thing about the whole situation. I didn't even know what kind of business I wanted to start up, right? So I was really confused. But when I came back, I prayed about it. I did a lot of research about it. And then I just kind of like decided to sit with myself. I saw something online actually that made me make that decision. And the thing I saw online was that if you want to know what you really want as a person, right? one of the major ways you can know is when you sit down, you ask yourself, what is a constant in every phase of my life that I have been through, right? From primary school to secondary school to your university to your service. What is one thing that has remained constant in these phases of life? And I realized, oh, that was why I told the story about my dad, like saying I was very good at crafting things, right? And one of the things I realized was, oh, you're very good at craft, like you're very good at making stuff. Like when it comes to art or to making weaving things or to making things with my hand, I'm very good at it. And so I realized, how can I combine my course? I've already studied the course, right? How can I combine that with craft making? Like, how can I merge it so that at least I feel like I am fulfilled as a person? I feel like, okay, even no matter how I do it, even if I succeed at it, even if I'm not the most successful person at it, I don't feel burnt out, right? And so I started to think about it. So I started to think about it, and that was how I came to the conclusion of making tea. So but my business is about artisanal herbs. So what I do is I handpack them. I make like teas from scratch, right? Artisanal herbs, artisanal what do you call it?
I'll make.
Okay, like handmade, yeah. It's just a very fancy name, handmade, yeah. So I use herbs, I use spices, I use fruits or whatever I can get. Something that I know that it makes me happy. I use that and make different varieties of like beverages, or like I will later go into at some point, like wellness. So just wellness in general, right? And also one of the reasons why I decided to go into this line was because I know, you are aware of this, maybe not to a very high level, but when my dad died, I really went through a lot as a person, right? So I started looking for ways to heal myself, right? So I think that this going into a line like this really, really helped me, and it has really done a lot for me this past couple of months, because I've been able to craft the things I like, to prepare different recipes and all of the things that I like to do. So it's been really fantastic for me. Yeah. So
Okay, that's really nice. Wow, congratulations. I was waiting. You said we should watch out for the space. So I've been watching out now to see what to see what I never knew it was already out. I never asked. I'm sorry, I should have asked you if I had so much.
it's a lot, right? I've not even gotten the I'm still in the initial, let me just say I'm still in the initial phase of planning. There are still lots of things to do, but I just wanted to make sure that my business page was out there and that I get people interested in it for now till I'm ready to launch finally. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much for wishing me well. I'm very, very happy you did.
Always, all the time.
Okay. So it's amazing that we have all these memories, It's amazing we have all these memories. I don't know if you can hear the voices. Nigeria is playing match, and these people will not let me listen because they're watching Nigerian match. Oh gosh. Should I ask this, or okay, a united connection? Why do you think we're still friends? This is a very crucial part, because I don't know, like when someone, I don't even know what, like, I don't, if you ask me, because it's so awkward to me even when I was writing this, I was like, huh? I kept thinking about it myself because I couldn't even know what to say, right? Because
So, okay, finish please, and I'll answer.
Because like when we meet, we are still the same. There's no difference. Like there's literally no difference. So when someone is like, why are you still friends? Like, yeah, because the person is my friend. Like she's like, you know what I mean? Like I'm just like, this person has been by my side through the toughest moments of my life, through the happiest moments of my life. So what is there to like, you understand me? But I don't know. But I threw this question at you, so please answer. Yeah.
So based on my reflection on how my relationship has been with my other friends, I noticed one thing in common. Most of my friends are married and have kids.
Yeah.
I'm not that them anymore. So I think but I'm still close to my friends that are still single, still working, still hustling.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the major things that still has us curious, because
I never thought about it like that.
Yes, we still have some things in common. We're single, we're still working,
Yeah.
we're still struggling, we never blow. Some people I know, they are like married, their husbands are rich, they're doing their master, PhD, it's another level. Yeah, I'm not like people that are doing masters now, they're so busy, or PhD, and they're obviously not in the country anymore. But both of us, we're still in the country,
Yeah.
we're still doing our basic job with our BSc, no masters, no PhD. We're still in Nigeria,
Yeah.
so we're still operating within the same space of mind. I think that's one of major things why we are still in touch more often,
Mhm.
or rather more frequently than I find myself with other, people.
But I don't.
Then,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, but I
tell
don't.
me.
I don't really. I don't really. Really. How do I explain it now? I don't really think that it's about the single for me, right? Because I think that I think for me it's about the bond, because I know myself and I know that even if I got married, I would still have that close, like there are a clique of friends you will just have, and you like, you cannot remove that vibe. It's just there. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I know marriage sometimes does play a part. That is the simple truth, because some of my friends that are equally married as well, I find it difficult sometimes having conversations with them. I know it can play a role, but I just feel like at the end of the day, you and this person vibe, so that bond is still going to be there. It's probably like, maybe instead of talking like 3 times in a week, you're now talking maybe once in a week, because you have more things to be preoccupied with, if it makes sense. So, but the bond is still there. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, I agree with you. But why I mentioned these factors first? I mentioned being married, I mentioned doing masters, being country.
Yeah.
And I noticed Patience is a mutual friend. Did I say I'm closer to Patience than yourself?
Mhm.
No, I think based on how often we talk, even back in school,
Yeah.
or how much of, I think it was the thing to an extent, yes. I was a bit close to Patience too, but I got close because we shared, the time I was staying, you helped me out, and I was staying in the same house with you.
Yeah.
That closer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if I'm comparing, for instance, Patience is another person who is single,
Yeah.
who is, but she's on a different country, number one, is further in her academic path. So these things already create a gap,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It created a gap, and so I think us living together kind of made us have a big fight that could have,
Yes.
that was worth us going separate ways.
Yes, that's true. But
Yes.
I also think that when you have, and that's something I always tell people, right? Because when you have two or more people in a space, it's bound to happen. You're bound to have scuffles, you're bound to have disagreements, but it's all about how you manage it and how you are able to say, okay, let's cool off for a while. If we come back, how do we talk about it? And that was something that was something I really appreciated you for. I never really spoke about it till now, because I remember that you were the person that called me after some time. I think I was still serving, and you called me on a fateful day, and you were like, "Hi, how are you? Let's talk." Right? And it really feel, oh, okay. And to be very honest, that was one of the few times I felt like I wanted to be able to take responsibility myself for such actions if I were to be in such situations with friends as well, where I would be like, oh, hey, how are you? I value our friendship so much. Let's talk, right? Like, let's have this conversation, as adults, and figure things out as friends, right? So that's a big up to you. Like, you did so well. I really, really felt encouraged after that. And I really, really included that in my life, like, trying to take responsibility and trying to, like, if I hurt someone, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, or I apologize, or how can we fix this? We are friends, let's still stay friends, that kind of thing. So yeah, it was a really good one.
Yeah, I remember it exactly. Like, I remember after school, it was very easy, like, to just get carried away with stuff. But I know you came through for me big time.
Yeah.
And I wasn't comfortable at all with myself for how things, how we parted ways then, because it wasn't the best ground.
Yeah.
I knew I needed to call and apologize. Even if I was ready, I wasn't even like, back then, if you ask me, I would say I wasn't even expecting you to be so, friendly with me anymore. But I knew I just needed to make that call.
Yeah.
Let you know that I know I was of the worst behavior. I mean, so yeah, that bothered me because when I think about it, I knew I was completely in the wrong. That was that made me make that call, and I'm glad I did so. And I'm so grateful also that he didn't just push me to the corner, even though I had
Yeah.
apologized, because that's something I do. But I do that when I notice that the person is half-hearted about
About
it,
it.
or
Yeah.
there's some kind of bias.
Yeah.
Yeah, so even after I apologize, I know it's half-hearted. I can see right through it, so I just give you that space. That's fine. But I'm happy that even my apology was really sincere. It wasn't it wasn't half-hearted. It's very hard to do something you're wrong, and then even though you should apologize, when you're doing it, you're like, some part of your mind is still like, she also had her part to play. I'm not
Yes,
100%
it's true.
responsible.
It's true. But
Yeah.
that's where I think that maturity comes in, right? Because when you're mature, and that was why I applauded you for what you did, because it takes maturity, right? If you're mature, you don't really think of what the other person says. You value their friendship so hard that whatever they would say or however they will react does not really bother you. What you're after is, I need to fix this, right? I need to correct.
So yeah, I think these items, elements are what formed part of our strong bond. Like I can say I know Kosi so well, more than I know a lot of people I went to university with.
I'm so grateful that we've remained friends throughout the years. There's been issues, but we sorted it out, and that kind of like shows you that, like, even when we also get partners as well. I think that was just a master class in how to handle issues in
Yeah,
general,
exactly.
right? Because when you have a partner, you're not going to run away, right? You have to sort it out. So you have to figure things out, right? So
Yeah.
it also made me feel like, okay, the wrong one or the right one is not an issue in argument, right? It's about fixing the issue, not oh, I'm wrong or oh, I'm right. Like, the more you do that, the more chaos you create, right? So I'm really, really grateful that I have you as my friend, and I have you as not just a friend, a sister too. I can talk to, I can rely on, I can gist with. I even met your sister when I came to Lagos last year. We had such a nice time. So I am very, very grateful that I have you in my life. I'm happy that even though we're not where we want to be, but at least we're making progress, and that's what counts.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not where we yet.
Mm-hmm.
We're still
Because
we
if
definitely
we were, Monaco will know that we are coming. Paris,
yes,
oh God,
definitely. Yeah, of course.
no
I'm so
problem.
grateful that you've been very reliable over these years as well.
Thank you.
And thanks for starting this podcast. It made me take some memory lanes.
Yeah. That's what it should be. That's what it should be.
Yeah, I remember I chose 3 topics, but let's leave it as to why it is one, because even this one.
You chose 3 topics. Oh my God! No. It's not bad. It's not. We are not pushing it. It's not compulsory. We must finish the 3. You can choose maybe another one and add to this one. I'll tell you the ones other ones have taken. But you can pick one other one. Then we can do it anytime from now to the end of the month. It's fine. We can do it from now.
Fine. It's fine. It's completely fine. And what? Why are you laughing now?
You're ready? The time it will take, I understand. Yeah, I can hear you reading in agony. Like, oh
I'm
my
asking
God.
myself, why did I not mention? But I shouldn't have mentioned. But it's fun to do. It's enjoyable. Something that I won't mind doing when there's. This is the best time because I've not resumed work yet.
Okay, so do we do another one? I'm like,
it's already weekend. Well, let's see what the rest of the month looks like. I mean,
yeah. Don't worry, we can fix it. I think we still have like 3 more weekends till the month end, right? So we can fix it. We can fix it any weekend. Just let me know. Yeah, I will fix it for you. Yeah. I had a good laugh today. Thank you so much. I'm really, really grateful that you've come to join my podcast.
Thank you too.
All right,
Thanks for having. Yeah. Sure. Bye.
Success is loud, but identity is quiet. It's the late night talks on a combined hostel bed. It's the friend who knows my favorite teas and big fears. To the friend who knew me before I became this version of myself, thank you for remembering the girl I used to be so I never have to lose her. I'm Kosti Okechukwu, and this is All the Little Things. Thank you for listening to this episode. Join me on the next episode. Thank you.